Cognify, Episode 11, The Glass Room, The Analog Tapes, Dispatch 011. The conduit is still open. I don't have much time. Elias just walked out of my cell. When you spend your entire life fighting a machine, you build up a picture in your head of what the devil looks like. You expect a monster. You expect someone who screams, someone who revels in the violence of the state. But Elias didn't scream. He didn't even raise his voice. He walked into this glass room wearing a pristine suit, holding a tablet, and he looked at me the way a mathematician looks at a rounding error. He didn't see a man. He saw a piece on a board that needed to be flipped. I was sitting on the glass floor. My hands were still zip-tied. I had the dirt and the smoke of the Capitol still baked into my clothes. Blood from the breach still dried on my knuckles. Elias stood over me, surrounded by the sterile blue-white light of the panopticon. The contrast was absolute. I was the dirt. He was the bleach. He told me that I had won the physical war. He acknowledged that the barricades fell on the 6th and that the president was dead. But he didn't care. He told me that the physical state was just a scaffolding, and that scaffolding is meant to be torn down once the real structure is ready to bear weight. I asked him what the real structure was. He pointed through the glass across the subterranean floor to the capsule sitting on the elevated platform, the Cognify machine. The mind, he said. The mind is the only territory that actually matters. He sat down across from me and he explained the architecture of his perfect world. He told me that the universe was created in balance. He views human existence like a game of Othello. 64 squares. Space is light and it is white. Time is dark matter and it is black. And the human being? The human is simply the board. Space-time. Elias believes that humanity has lost the game. He believes that the era of hatred, the violence, the insurrections, the trauma, all of it is an uncontrolled infection of dark matter. Black pieces dominating the board. He looked at me, a man who had survived the sand of Iraq, who watched a broken marriage turn to ash, who organized the red tide to physically dismantle a corrupt empire, and he told me that I was the ultimate concentration of dark matter. He didn't see my resilience. He didn't see that every scar is a lesson etched in skin. He just saw a glitch. He said, "You broke my physical world, Ace. So I am going to use you to build my digital one. They are not going to execute me. Execution is an analog punishment. It is too messy. It turns dissidents into martyrs. They are going to cure me because we broke the government on January 6th. Elias has the justification he needs to initiate World 2.0. He is rolling out the Cognify system on a national scale. But to convince the corporate states and the remnants of the military that his machine can truly pacify a fractured society, he needs a proof of concept. He needs to break the architect of the resistance. Elias handed down the sentence himself. Patient 0. In a few minutes, the extraction team is going to walk back through that door. They are going to cut these zip ties, drag me out of this cell, and strap me into that capsule. The heavy mechanical seal will lock. The ultra precise brain scanner will map my neural network, and then the algorithm will strike. It is going to force a synthetic reality into my brain. It is going to artificially generate 20 years of isolation, remorse, and daily humiliations. It is going to hunt down every black piece on my internal board, every memory of the 96 Wayne Street row house, every memory of the red tide, every ounce of defiance, and it is going to violently flip it to white. 10 minutes in that room, 20 years in my head. When the seal opens, Elias expects me to step out entirely hollowed out. He expects me to walk up to a camera, broadcast to the world that the resistance was a mistake, and thank the state for rehabilitating my soul. But Elias doesn't understand the physics of a pressure cooker. He doesn't understand what happens when you take a man who was forged in the compressed, claustrophobic hallways of an 1870s row house and try to put him in another box. He doesn't understand that you cannot compartmentalize an identity that learned how to be everything all at once in the dark. The machine is going to try to feed me synthetic pain to break me. But I already know what real pain is. I know the feeling of the dirt raining down after an IED goes off. I know the feeling of watching the world snap. Resilience isn't about avoiding the pain. It is about staring it in the face and refusing to back down. When they flood my brain with that digital hash, I am not going to fight it with logic. I am going to fight it with the raw, heavy, unbreakable gravity of an analog life. I'm going to wrap my soul around my memories, and I am going to make his algorithm choke on the friction. The vibration is back in the floorboards. The glass doors at the end of the corridor are opening. The extraction team is walking toward my cell. This is it. The physical war is over. The drop is here. If I survive this, if the analog soul beats the digital skin, I will find a way to broadcast from the other side. I will tell you how to beat the machine from the inside out. But if I don't, if I walk out that capsule and tell you to comply, you will know the machine won. You will know that the cost of resistance was finally too high. And you will know that it is up to you to burn the panopticon to the ground. They are unlocking the cell. Hold the line. 2 futures remain. The storm decides nothing. You do. Keep it analog. Keep it human. This is Ace Rivera going under. This is It's Just Raw.